everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are in my bathroom because we're about to film a Dyson Airwrap hair tutorial. I recently got the Dyson Airwrap during the whole holiday Black Friday sales that have been going on, and I've been using it constantly just to make sure that I love it, that fits into my lifestyle, and that I like how my hair looks when I use it. I've been posting about it on Instagram, and my hair in my recent videos have been styled using the Dyson Airwrap, and I've never gotten so many comments about my hair before. I've never talked so much about my hair before, but I'm glad that you all have been liking how my hair looks as much as I have. So I went ahead and filmed a little tutorial on just how I've been using the Dyson Airwrap to curl my hair. Definitely not an expert. I'm not a hair expert, but I'm literally just showing you what I've been doing to curl my hair and a couple of tricks that I have learned that have helped me a little bit. So this is how my hair looks right after styling it on day one. I washed my hair and I did try to tame it and manage the curls a little bit better to look a little bit more sleek and polished, because you do get some really voluminous hair from this hairstyling tool. But as long as you style your hair while it's damp, I do find that the style does last a good amount of time. So if you're like me and you like to do your hair in the evening, I think that's honestly the easiest way to just go in with the tool and make your hair as curly as possible. Go ahead and sleep on it, and then for the next couple of days you just have really nice, really pretty voluminous waves. Yeah, this looks really pretty as well, and if you'd like to see how I curl my hair using the Dyson Airwrap, then just keep watching. Alright, so this is where we're going to start. Normally I actually shower and wash my hair and do all of my hair stuff at night. That way I don't have to wake up and style my hair in the morning. But I did a workout this morning and then washed my hair, so now I'm getting ready to go out. And I threw my hair up into this hair turban. These are just microfiber type of towels, and they dry your hair a lot faster. I had an old one from Amazon that I had been using for years, but I upgraded to this one that I got from Sephora. It's by the brand Aquis, but I do think it actually does work bit better than my generic Amazon one. So I think the most important thing to note is that when using the Airwrap, if you want your style and your curls to last, is that you have to style it on damp hair. You can of course try to use things like hairspray and stuff to make it last longer, but personally I found that just styling it on damp hair has made a huge difference. It makes sense because when you dry your hair, you're kind of locking it into that position. So right now I would say my hair is maybe 40 to 50% dry. You could probably go in with the Airwrap right away, but I think it'll just take a lot longer. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the blow dryer attachment. Okay, I think this is a good place to stop. I would say my hair is probably 70% dry at this point, and you just kind of want it to still be damp but not take a long time to dry with the Airwrap, if that makes sense. You'll kind of figure it out as you keep using it, but for now I think this is a pretty good place. So let me go ahead and switch out the attachment. And switch out the attachment, you just kind of pull down to release it, and then you can snap whatever attachment you want in it. So I'm just getting the smallest barrel that the set comes with, and in order to figure out which piece that you want to use for which direction of your hair, you just kind of look in the mirror. So in the mirror the arrows are pointing outwards, so I'm going to be using it on this side of my hair to curl away from my face. So I'm just gonna brush through my hair really lightly just to get my part, and then split my hair in half. This is the same way that I would curl my hair with a curling iron, and I don't section my hair off or anything, even though I do have quite a bit of hair, but I find that it's not really that necessary. To start off, I like to take a piece from the back, and I think the part that makes this process take longer than maybe a typical curling iron curl is that the hair just comes out better if you use smaller pieces and you don't try to wrap too much hair around. So I would say this is a pretty good amount, and what I like to do is just take out the chunk of hair, hold it out maybe a couple of inches down. Sometimes I find it that the barrel doesn't really grab onto the hair super easily, so I just kind of like to help start it out. And then let me show you. Okay, so hopefully you can see this, but this is kind of how I would want the hair to come out right after curling it. You can see like how long my hair is normally and how much it shrinks, but you just want it to be like a very tight cone curl. So I typically hold it on for maybe like 10 to 20 seconds depending on how wet the hair is and just how long it takes it for it to dry. I just kind of like feel the hair as it's wrapped around the barrel, and then once it feels pretty dry, I'll do the cool shot for about 10 seconds and then release it. As the hair kind of like wraps around the barrel, you can kind of feel it pull a little bit. So I just kind of like to shake the barrel a little bit, and that'll tighten the curl and just make sure it's really nice and just like secure around the barrel. So like this chunk of hair is too much for the Airwrap to handle. So let me just take a smaller piece. So once again, I just hold out the hair, kind of start the curl around the barrel just to help it out, but then let the Airwrap do the rest. Then hold there for 10 to 20 seconds, do a cool shot for about 10 seconds, and then release. There you go. So overall, I would say it probably takes me like 30 minutes to do my hair. I'm sure I can get it to be a little bit faster once I practice some more. But honestly, that's how long it usually takes me to style my hair, which is why I never really did it that regularly before. But honestly, using the Airwrap is so easy, and since I can do it like right after I wash my hair, I don't have to like wait for my hair to kind of like get a little bit dirty again so that it holds the curl better. I find that it does just kind of go with my routine pretty easily. I'm gonna go ahead and curl more of this side of my head, and then maybe I'll come back and chat some more. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention is that I did use one like pre-styling hair product. I just put a bit of the Olaplex, I think it's the number 6 Bond Smoother, but besides that I didn't use any like mousse or hold giving products. So this is, for the most part, all the Airwrap. Okay, so I don't know if you could see that on camera, but sometimes you can see that the hair doesn't wrap super cleanly around the barrel, and when that happens, it usually means that you have just like too much hair on the wand, or it's too long and it kind of like bunches up and becomes a little bit unraveled. Honestly, I find that it doesn't make a huge difference. Your hair obviously doesn't have to be perfect, but do just keep that in mind because the results aren't quite as like neat and perfect, and they don't dry as evenly. And then when it comes to the bangs, I haven't really figured out my favorite way. I know some people like to use the round brush attachment and then kind of do the curtain bang styling thing, but I think the easiest way is to just kind of curl it like the rest of your hair, but just as a separate piece. Okay, so that is one side of my hair done. You don't want to brush anything out yet. You want your hair to cool completely. That way the style just locks into place, and then at the very end you can kind of brush through it with like a wide tube comb or your fingers or something, and just kind of maneuver it to get it to how you want to look. Now I'm just going to go swap out the other barrel and then do the rest of my hair. So you can kind of see how if you have like the perfect amount of hair, the Airwrap does just like grab onto it and wrap it really nicely around the barrel. But even if you just have like a little bit too much, the hair just kind of like falls down. So it like starts to wrap, but some of it falls out. So it does work fine if you just let whatever hair it wants grab on, but I just find it to be a little bit easier to not get too much hair and then wrap it around the barrel itself so that it just gets a good start. And then the other tip I have is that I learned from another video is that you don't necessarily need to go out and buy the longer barrels if you have hair that's longer than mine. I would say that if you have hair longer than mine, you will need to use this method or buy the longer barrels. But if you don't want to go out and buy another set of barrels, then I think the easiest thing to do is just to kind of like let the hair wrap around the barrel as much as it can, and then at the very end, don't try to keep pushing your hair and to wrap around the barrel, just like manually roll the barrel up just like a regular curling iron, and that'll make the curl a lot more even. So. And then let's say that this was the end, I would just like manually turn the barrel to wrap around the root, and that way you don't get the hair bunching up in a weird way. Okay, so here is how my hair looks with both sides done immediately right after, and obviously it's a lot. Typically with my routine, I would just like sleep on this, and then overnight even, it'll just like drop a little bit more and be a little bit more manageable. But since I'm planning to go out immediately, and if you want to style your hair immediately, then let's just kind of brush through this and see how we can tame this a little bit. I'm just gonna go ahead and start with my fingers and brush through this side of my hair and just kind of pull the curls down a little bit more to stretch them out. I'm also just going to grab a little bit of hair oil right now. I don't always do this, but I think it'll be nice for today, just to give it a little more shine. Okay, I'm actually just kind of experimenting with you guys right now on what the best way to kind of tame this and make it look a little bit better on day one. But let me just try this little comb right here. It's not like a super wide tooth comb, but it might be a little bit better than the fingers. Okay, honestly, from this point on, you can do whatever you want to kind of make the curls look the way you want to. I think just like kind of pulling your hands through your hair and doing the finger comb works really well. Now I'm just going to try to add a little bit of some Ouai finishing cream, which adds like a little bit of texture but doesn't make your hair look like quite as dry as a texturizing spray. But yeah, this is how I curl my hair using the Dyson Airwrap. I hope this video was helpful. I'm still definitely learning how to use it and how I like to style my hair with it, and this was a little bit different from my usual routine. So I still really like the results, but I do kind of need to practice my styling techniques. I just really love these big bouncy curls that you can get with the Airwrap. I feel like it looks very glamorous, but it's pretty effortless, and the style just holds really nicely and lasts throughout the week, and just still makes you look really nice and put together. It just kind of like falls out into like a really nice little blowout. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it or found it helpful, and I would love it so much if you subscribe to my channel. I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!